Hey, how you doing? This is Kitch, and you are watching me play Factorio. We're getting a little bit of a plastic problem. And we've had it before, and taking a look over the map and just kind of seeing what's going on. It's a oil supply issue. We're just not getting enough crude in. We do have a little bit extra down here. In this area, we're producing a lot more than we're using right now. So I left a station down here. I think we'll probably take the excess oil down there and get that system running again. But I don't want to fix problems in this episode. I think it's time we created some new ones. So I want to do a lot of the building in this base in an automated fashion. We've already kind of done that with the wall. So I want to take this wall station that we were using earlier and see if we can't make some modifications to it. I designed this station in the UNCUT series. I used it as a supply station for basically these areas right here where they're bringing in ammunition and gun turrets and walls, things like that, to be able to support these little defensive areas that we've created that are currently getting pounded pretty hard. Let's see. Can we fire a couple more shots over here just to say hello to our neighbors? I think we cleared out a lot of these bases in the last episode. Can that be shot? It can. Let's shoot it. Yeah, and we need to go and secure this area a little bit better, I believe, but that is probably going to be our next in-between episode. So the idea behind this station is we basically set our requests here, what we want to be in this station. And that goes through some logic to control this inserter right here. And you could just set the request of what you needed and do a little bit of math. The problem is with the mechanics and the way these inserters work, sometimes things can get blocked out. So that's what all this extra combinator logic is for. I'll try to leave a link in the description. I'll try to remember to do that. But I want to design this a little bit differently to be like a generic building station. So let's just start from scratch here as a review. So one big change I want to make is I want to move this inserter up here so that it's pulling from this side of the car instead of that side of the car. That is going to feed into an active provider chest. This is what's being pulled off of the train. This is going to be like our building materials. And then we're going to have a storage chest up here that's basically for junk. And the trash train, the trash car will be here, and all that stuff will enter there and then come back to base and be dropped off in active providers, where it can be recycled or stockpiled or whatever we're going to do with it. All right, then we're going to have a constant combinator, and this constant combinator is where we're going to set our requests. And for this station in particular, what I'm thinking is basically just building supplies for building science modules and other things. So things like assembly machines and beacons and probably inserters and power poles and like requester chests and passive provider chests. Possibly like chemical plants, modules, all of those things. Probably more things. But right now, I think that works. And yeah, hopefully this will be able to be used to, we set up kind of like a mining supply station here, and I'm hoping the same logic will be used for building all the mining outposts that we're going to have to build. And boy, are we going to have to build a lot of them. So yeah, that's the basic setup there. We set our request. Let's see, let's throw our combinators down. We are going to need an arithmetic combinator, a decider, and a decider. Let's reduce some of the blinky here. And let's get a roboport up here just so that stops blinking. There we go. And let's just check. Yeah, you guys chew on those walls for a little while. Can we get a gun turret over there? You don't have any gun turrets? You have gun turrets. You don't have any construction bots. That's right. I remember now. We're gonna have to do something about that. So yeah, let's go ahead. We'll roll the intro, and we will come back and finish that supply station. All right, construction robots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'll be good for a while. Did you guys finally wander out? Yes, you did. Oh, apparently I have gun turrets in my inventory. Okay. Well, that problem should be temporarily solved. All my robots in? I think so. Let's head back to main. How are these patches doing? This seems to be going all right. How is iron doing? Not great. I mean, it's all there, but it's starting to look a little bit thin, which is unfortunate. All right, let's see. We were building a supply station. So we have this constant making our request. We have this chest where all of our items are going to go. We want to subtract what we have from what we need. So we will take this chest, put it in the back of this arithmetic combinator, take each signal coming in minus a -1 and output it. So that is hooked to the back of that. And then we're going to want to take this signal and this signal and add those together in the back of this combinator, and then normalize that to say if anything is needed still, if anything each signal coming in is greater than 0, we want to output one of those. So we should have a signal of 1 for everything that we requested, and if we bump that up to say we want 20 and 20 of those, which we'll adjust those numbers later, but that comes in and it just normalizes all of those down to 1. All right, so that is just, we're basically converting that over to a true-false statement, 1 or 0. We need it. We don't care how much we need. We just need to know if we actually need it. And then we need to know, do we have it? And do we have it means reading it off the train right here and sending that signal down and normalizing that as well. So let's take this, move it into the back of that combinator, and use basically the same logic. Each signal coming in, if it's greater than 0, output 1. And then that is we have it. This is we need it. So we want to say if we need it and if we have it, each signal equals 2. That's 1 for we need it and 1 for we have it. So if that equals 2, then this is a situation that says we want to go ahead and activate this inserter and not enable disable, but to just set the filter of it. That's basically the same as turning it on, since that is a filter inserter. So if we have it, we need it, that signal will be set here, and that is good. There's a issue with these and setting the filters and the order of the inventory. I go into that in that video, which is why all this extra combinator logic is here. And I think this is almost a clone of this station. There's a little additional logic, but I want to address something else first. So this is a building station that is going to be placed down, and it's going to request items, and those items are going to be in there. But eventually, we're going to get to a point where the station is built, and we don't need this anymore. And these items in here can be recycled and used somewhere else in the factory. This is all completely unnecessary, by the way, and I do know that, but this is the kind of stuff that I find fun. So what I want to do is let's throw another constant combinator down here, and let's make it output like a red signal. And that red signal is the one that's going to say, we're done. We're done here, right? We don't need to get any more items off of this train. All right, and I want to do basically two things with that red signal. I want to take that red signal. Let's use a red wire for that and send it to this inserter and this inserter. And I do want an enable disable condition. Oh, can we not do both? All right, well, let's do an enabled condition here. When red is greater than 0, I want you enabled. And basically what that'll do is it'll take everything from this chest and put it into our junk trash storage chest. Oh, that's annoying. I think I'd rather live with the blinky blinky than have the robots come and steal our items out. So yeah, whenever we get that red signal, that's going to turn on this inserter and send all of these items to the trash, and the train will basically come next time, pick up those. All the extra beacons and things like that will get thrown in the trash car, come back here, where they'll be recycled and be ready to be sent off to something else. But how do we handle this? This worked out a lot smoother in my mind. So we're setting the filter off of that. We have to keep that. That's coming in through here. Okay, so red is coming through. Okay, experiment time here. Let's see. Let's hook this up and set filter. Let's take that off, hook that up, and set filter. Okay, you will not set your filter to a red thing, but the red did not have a priority over any of the other items coming in. So we basically need to say, let's throw another combinator here. And let's see, unhook you, hook you directly there. Then we need to take this signal into the back of that combinator. And this signal into the back of that combinator. Turn you off, and then say if red equals 0, output 1 of everything, and then take that and send that to that inserter. So if this is on, that gets passed over here. Is that correct? Let's here, let's we'll just call it test for now. Let's add a stop of test. Circuit condition. Why you say you no make it here? Because it's off. Take off that station. Take off that, and you come back here. You go to test now, and that'll eventually make its way back, and we can do a little bit of testing here. Let's throw something that we know is in there. Are power poles in there? I think power poles are in there. Let's do a request of, like, I don't know, 10 of those. This is currently on, so that should block that signal if I'm thinking about this correctly. Boy, where did that train go? Is that it? Yeah. No. Ah, well, there it is. Okay, so you are there. You have power poles. Yes, you do. So if we turn this off, okay, that makes that go. All right, and if we turn it on, that turns off, and this will empty out into the trash car. Fantastic. That is exactly what we want. I don't like that combinator there, though. Can we move it like... Oh. Hey. We move it like maybe like right there. This will go... Let's see, we can carry that signal from there into the back of there. And then you need to go into the back of that. And you need to go right there. All right, so off, we pull out, on, we put it all back in. Let's give you some, there you go. All right, I think that works, and now we just need to control if the station is on or off. So, if I have something in my trash container here, I want that to be on. The red signal doesn't have any bearing on if the station is on or off, because even if we don't want this guy pulling out, we want it in exit mode, we still want the station to be on. So if there's anything in there, we want that to be turned on. And if there's anything coming through here, if we need something, we want to turn it on to... But we want to turn off that signal whenever we're getting a red signal. So let's take the red into the back of here. And let's take this signal into the back of here. And say if red equals 0, output each. So currently red is on. If we turn that off, we get that coming through, which means that we need something. We can combine this and this signal. So this means there's something in the trash car. Send that into the back of there. Send that to the station, and then say... If anything is greater than 0, output 1 green, which goes into there. And we disable that based off of the condition of green is greater than 0. Is that convoluted and correct? Okay, let's do some testing here. Let's simplify this a little bit. Let's just take this down purely to power poles. All right, you have 12 power poles. You need 10 power poles. We don't have anything in the trash, so the station should be off, and it's not. Is this off? That's off. Why are you getting a bajillion input signals? That is a question that I have. Oh, that is... Okay, so I'm getting the... That's the I want it and I have it. Where I'm getting wires crossed here somewhere. Oh, I see. Let's see. We need to take this off and turn that into a red. And that turns this station off. Okay, so that means we have everything we need. If we throw items in there, that should turn the station on, and it does. And as soon as that empties out, station goes back off. Okay, that is correct. We turn this on. That's going to drain everything out, and we're now at rest. We shouldn't need anything. All of our trash is empty. The station should be off. Okay, that is correct. And then we throw some items in here. That's going to turn the station back on. And that one is good to go. All right, and then we turn the signal off, and then that puts it back into request mode. I think this is working. That turns it back on. Sweet. So yeah, again, a completely pointless station, but one that I think is nice. We'll basically plop this station down. We'll get everything built, and then once it's built, we can just turn it off, and then it turns into basically just a trash station. Yeah. Very nice. Completely unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. And we can use this, we can set requests for building like a module, or not module, like a science producing module, or that has like beacons and things. And we can also set one up to be for building like mining outposts. So we can have 2 of those stations. All right, let's go ahead and send you off. Boy, there's probably ways to do that are probably a lot easier. I don't know. I just kind of like to throw it all out there and make it where it makes sense to me. And there may be some issues there. I'll have to do some QA testing on it in between episodes. That'll take that back there. We'll drop a bunch of stuff there. What else do we need to do this episode? Wouldn't want to make this a 20-minute episode. That would be silly. If you don't know, that's my target. I make 20-minute Factorio episodes. It never seems to run that way, but that's my time. There are a couple of items over here that I do want to address really quick. Someone pointed it out in the comments, and I'm in agreement. this train right here, the schedule, this 60 seconds past, this was actually intentional. The reason why is that whenever it goes to pick up, it's got a sulfuric acid tank on it. And if we do like a small amount of inactivity, the fluid's just going to kind of leak out of the car. And it does kind of that thing whenever it's actually running. These miners aren't running, so it's not pulling any sulfuric acid out. So it put the 60 seconds there just to make it to where if it gets caught in that, where the sulfuric acid's just leaking out, it'll still come back. So that is intentional. But the drop, it's like this guy is going to move back and forth even though we don't need anything. So let's go ahead and hook up this stuff real quick. And yeah, nothing fancy here. I think we've done our fancy circuit quota. Let's no. Okay, semi-fancy. Let's throw down a decider, like right here. And let's say if ore is less than like 300, output a signal of ore. And we'll take that, put it into this, and then on this guy, we will add a circuit condition of that. So this train is basically just going to wait here until we are running low on the ore. And as soon as we run out of ore, that will cause the train to take off. And I think that'll be just fine. And I also want to come down here. And instead of limiting it this way, let's throw, I guess, a couple of deciders down, right? And let's hook you up to you, and you up to you. And I want to say, if rocket fuel is less than like 10, output nuclear fuel. No, let's make it generic. Output a green signal. And if rocket fuel is greater than 10, output another green signal. And we'll send that to the train, not enable disable. But you are going to wait here until there's a circuit condition of green. So you're going to come out here and you are going to hang out here. If we need rocket fuel, or if you're just going to sit and wait here until there's like, until you're full, until you're full of green. No, that's not right. We don't want this. We want this, right? Read the train contents. If you have more than 10, output a green. Yeah. So if you have fuel, go ahead. And if there's less than 10 rocket fuel in there, go get more, is basically what that's about. Now why do we have nuclear fuel in there is another question that I have. Is this box full? That box is full. Interesting. All right, well, we need to start maybe using nuclear fuel in places. Or at least get another buffer going. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And this station is a station that is. All right. Very good. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode where, I don't know, maybe it's time to start designing some science layouts. It could be about time. I don't know. Let's take a look here. Nuclear expansion, nuclear fuel, design a science setup, module to module factory. Lots of things to do. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.